And I was on Instagram the other day, man. And this sister that really never makes any post made a post, man, that really made me have to unpack what she was saying. And her post said, the silence is not the absence of noise. The silence is the absence of distractions. And right, it seemed so simple when I read it, man, but I pondered on it. I said, you know what? She's right. She's right, because normally when I talk about the silence, man, I talk about it as in a place that man must retreat to. Even when I talk about myself, I talk about retreating to my favorite chair, so I can go into that sacred space. A lot of times I'll try to distance myself from this current reality and go hiking, or take me a little mini road trip, or take me something. In other words, I'm retreating to this place, right? But when I thought about what she said, it's not the absence of noise, it's the absence of distractions. What that really showed me is that the silence is not something we should run to, but something we should summon towards us. In other words, we have to be individuals that can still be in the midst of chaos and bring the summon the silence around us. Meaning we can operate while in the midst of the chaos. Like with the blinders on, in other words, right? Because you got to understand this, man. At the end of the day, this frequency that we're enjoying when we go to the silence, that frequency, man, where we can see ourselves, that frequency, man, where we can hear the voice and get those instructions, that frequency where that real peace is and all that stuff, it shouldn't be something we retreat to. It should be something that we live in, because that frequency at the end of the day is what we're trying to make our permanent residence. We're trying to make that, like I always say, man, we need to live life and create a world within a world. That silence that a man retreats to, that's really the world he's trying to make his permanent residence, man. So why would you run towards it, man? That's something we have to bring towards ourselves, man. You know what I'm saying? That solitude. And when I say solitude, when I talk about silence, or bringing that bubble around ourselves, I think a man's ultimate goal is to create that world within a world, right? And create that world where only his desires matter, where he's not competing with anybody else, where he's not trying to keep up with the Joneses, where he's not doing things because somebody else is doing it. It's his own bubble. Because when a man steps outside of that element, that's when life starts to change. Because every man creates a world within himself, but a lot of men don't understand it. But when he steps outside of that and starts comparing his world to someone else's world, when he starts craving the peace that's someone else's peace, or he's desiring the things that someone else desiring instead of just living under his own jurisdiction and being the best version of himself, man, that's when a lot of problems start coming, man. But I just like that the sister really pointed that out, man, that it's not a place we retreat to, man. It's something that we summon, brothers.